Hi everyone, it's Wise Terry here. Today we are playing Black Desert Online again, and it's a good game, somewhat related to today's topic. So let's enjoy the scenery and get to the topic. Today's topic is about dailies and weeklies in usually online games. I have not really seen such things in offline games, so yeah, it's definitely a thing for online games. So what can be those dailies and weeklies in games? For example, could be tasks to fill up some daily cap, for example, some currency material, something like this. Also, it could be a bit opposite way, some energy systems, so players feel like they shouldn't let the energy cap out, so they are coming to spend it. Also, it can be dungeons, quests, boss fights, and whatever else. I do understand why companies want to put dailies, weeklies, and such into their games, thinking that this is something that keeps players coming online. But personally, I think it's not a good approach. I think players should come to play your game not because they feel they have to, not because they feel they are afraid that they will miss out if they are not, that they will be left behind, and so on. But they should come because they are excited to come, because they want to play the game. That even after many weeks or months, so to say long term, they still feel that they are excited to play the game. Not that they feel they are stuck there because of the dailies and weeklies. Maybe they do like some parts of the game, that's why they are there. But quite often, players just keep coming back for a while at least because they feel like they have to. They are afraid to miss out. They are afraid to fall behind. The thing about this is that it may not last too long. So many players will eventually quit because they get tired. They're not excited to come. They just feel like it's a chore, something they have to do. And it will even cause a burnout or whatever in the end. So in that sense, I think dailies in the long run are not good. Weeklies, bit better, but still not so good because still somewhat limiting and somewhat forcing and so on. But definitely better than dailies. When players are playing a game, let's say they don't have time to play during weekdays, but they have time on weekends, then quite often it's difficult to maybe catch up with people who can play all week. But when it comes to online games, many players wouldn't play many existing online games if there were no other players around because of how the games have been designed. So for example, Black Desert Online, many people wouldn't be grinding 10 hours a day if there were no other players around because they have no one to show off their equipment to, their achievements to. They have no one to fight against. They have no one to compare against. They cannot show how powerful they are by having all this equipment that they have, I guess, worked hard for and so on. People who can only play on weekends, when they come online, it can feel frustrating. It can make them feel like if they are returning days or even weeks later, that they have been left behind, and now they feel a bit negative about it once they returned. And quite often such dailies and weeklies are somewhat limiting in sense that there are maybe no other methods to even catch up, and usually such dailies and so on don't accumulate. So if you are returning a few days later, you cannot do the daily anymore that was there a day ago or 2 days ago. You can only do the daily that's there today. But you're already left behind. And now maybe you can't play with your guildmates or other random people in the game, because you are now left behind. You cannot maybe do the same content as they can already do, or whatever it can be. In that sense, I think it's quite bad, because some people really may not have time to play or the will to play during weekdays, but they can maybe play 5 to 10 hours on weekends. It's somewhat pointless if there are no ways to catch up, if the game is locked behind dailies and weeklies. Same goes to those energy systems and so on, as an easy example. If your energy capped up and you're returning, it's been capped for many days already, and you can't make up for it. So you just spend the energy on that day and you are done. You cannot, so to say, spend the energy that went to waste all those days that you missed. So it's a really bad system, I think. It's kinda making players coming online, but at the same time keeping players away from being able to enjoy the game long enough. There are also many games where you are almost completely locked behind dailies and weeklies and energy systems and so on. So for example, Where Winds Meet is a game where outside of those dailies and weeklies and energy systems and so on, there's not a lot to do, at least at the current moment. And for example, I myself stopped playing a game not too long ago named Heartopia. It's supposed to be something like a cozy live stream game or whatever. And I just kept logging in every single day just to do dailies. And eventually I really felt like it's a chore. But if I didn't do those dailies, then I would be just left behind. Everyone else moves forward, they can already have much better stuff, build much cooler stuff and whatever and so on. And I would be just left behind again. It's not so big deal, but at the same time, there was not so much else to do other than those dailies and weeklies. Other than just really talk to other players and show off what you have built or whatever. In that sense, Heartopia is definitely a game where quite a lot is locked behind dailies and weeklies. Almost everything. I really don't like this type of things in games. I wish game companies realized that dailies are actually not good in the long run. I wish they understood that players will stick around much longer if they are coming online because they want to, not because they have to. There is a difference between coming online and feeling like, let's do those dailies again, let's get it done, and I don't know, maybe go back offline or whatever, versus coming online, looking forward to it, being excited to play the game. Just having freedom to do what you enjoy the most, not feeling like, well, even though I want to do something else that I enjoy much more than those dailies and weeklies, but if I don't do those dailies and weeklies, then I'm kind of left behind. Others will progress much faster and I can't play with them anymore, maybe sooner or later, or whatever it can be. And when your freedom is taken away, you are kind of forced to play a certain way, then many players will eventually get tired of it because it's quite repetitive and it will not be fun anymore. And games should be fun in the first place, not about doing some chores to be able to keep up, to be able to enjoy the game or whatever. Long story short, I think game companies should definitely try to limit dailies as much as possible. Definitely get rid of energy systems and so on, if possible. And those who are just creating their games, please don't even add such systems into games. Or maybe just a little bit. It's just better not to add such systems into games at all and try to find some other ways for players to have fun in games. Because if a game is good, despite not having any dailies or weeklies or whatever that may give you a reason to log in, then players want to play the game. They want to go online and do things there. It's not that they are going because they feel like they will be missing out. They feel like they have to do something, but it's because they want to. And your game will get much better ratings. Players will stick around much longer because they want to. Most people will accept if they have to, so to say, for a while, but it will not last too long. Eventually, people get tired of having to do something, having some chores, having like a second job, having to go online to not miss out. But if they feel that they want to play that game, then they will go online anyway. And I think this should be the goal. This should bring the most success. And I think it's very much doable. That's it for today. I hope the talk was interesting enough, and I hope the scenery was also interesting enough. But see you next time. Take care. Bye.